Welcome back to PH.d TV, and today we'll be going over Davidoff Cool Water, Aquaman. Alright, as always, we will start with the box. As we've established, Davidoff Cool Water, Aquaman. Alright, here we got the logo on the top. And of course, on the side, we just got the basic information that most boxes tell us about ingredient labels, this and that. And here we have a 4.2 fluid ounce bottle, which is the only size I've seen this in as of right now. I may be wrong. And something to notice, this does say it is a collector's edition, but that's not to say that this won't be around in a while. Davidoff has a habit of saying limited edition without it really being limited, or at least keeping the set and just renaming it later. But as of right now, it's Aquaman. And as you also see on the box, you have the Aquaman symbols, the trident, the Atlantean symbols that kind of obviously represent Aquaman as the character himself. And moving into the bottle, as you can see right now, best from back here, you have the classic blue from Davidoff color into a clear bottle. And same as regular Davidoff, you got the cool water up top. You just got the Aquaman label and logo right there, symbol. And I did forget to mention earlier, this is an eau de toilette. And like with most Davidoff cool water bottles, you can pick it up by the cap. It's just on there snug. It doesn't click into place or nothing. It's just snug. So you can pick it up by the cap, kinda, sorta. Just don't rip it up really hard. Just, you know, basic pickup. And as with almost all Davidoff cool water products, or all Davidoff products for the most part, it has a great atomizer. I think you just sprayed onto the lens. Alright, so the reason that I'm actually doing this review shortly after I did the Cremo review, that was my last view a few weeks ago, which was the Ice Citron and Driftwood, is because I feel like this is somewhere in the same ball game. Not the same, but in the same ball game. Maybe two different, you know, teams in the same ball game. You get the gist. Regardless, similar. Not the same, similar. And how they're similar is that it's a very blue scent, as you can tell with this and the logo of the last one. I'll put the link up for the last video up here so you can just check that out if you really feel like it. But to me, this is a more higher quality scent in terms of just in general profile. It just smells a lot more expensive, which generally, of course, coming from Davidoff, it probably will, rather than from a company that runs their fragrances at $23. Which, granted, I got this for $15 in a rack store, but this probably runs $30 full price. It's not that big of a difference. You're gonna be looking at a synthetic material regardless of where you go. This just kind of runs in the more or less inexpensive area. But what this does to me that the other one does not, this has to me more of an orange coconut vibe to it. To my nose, that coconut's not in the description of the notes used in this. This actually runs under a 3-note system. Very simple: green mandarin, black pepper, and guaiac wood. I probably butchered that last one. I don't know if guaiac is how you pronounce it, but that's all I got. Can't say it's the most common word I've ever heard said, so. And returning to what I was saying, how it smells very similar to the Cremo, I even said in that video that that one smelled like a Zaro Chrome Pure. Whereas this smells even more so, but as I said, with a more orangey, coconutty vibe. So you're gonna fall into more tropical fruits and things like this. This one, much more fruitier. And I think it goes without saying that this is gonna be a spring, summer type thing. It's obviously blue. Those really work in the spring and summer, very much the summer. Not so much winter. My fiance picked this up for me in a Burlington for about 15 bucks, I think, in October of 2020. So I haven't really gotten to use this in the hot weather yet, but I'm really excited to do so because you can really tell early on that this is going to be a champ in the hot weather and definitely the spring. But right now, that's why there's only that much put into it, because I haven't had any reason really to spray it other than maybe go to the gym or even wear around the house. Because me, I'm a big nerd. I love, well, geek, sorry, my bad. Some people get technical. But I love superheroes. I love all of the above. So whenever I saw that Davidoff, one of my favorite houses, for freshies, generic freshies, but good cheap freshies, and I saw that they did Aquaman, I kind of geeked out a little bit. Especially since it's the movie version of Aquaman. So you got some Jason Momoa feeling things in here, so very cool. You spray it on, you get a 6-pack. Not really, just, it's whatever. You gotta have fun with these things. So anyway, something that's really good about this is that it's very appealing to the audiences. It has a lot of people saying they love it and like it. Not a lot of people don't like it. It's just very universally appealing. You can't really fight it. And when it comes down to longevity, there's nothing really to write home about. It's not bad. The longevity is not bad, especially for a blue fragrance that you would probably think is a throwaway, being a flanker, especially one that's really designed to be behind a superhero. which could send a lot of red flags to a lot of people. It's very good in longevity in terms of being extremely moderate, if not a touch above moderate. So this is gonna be a refresher, but it's a lot better than what you would think, as I said, for something that has Aquaman slapped on it. But where the longevity lacks just a little bit, because again, it's moderate, so it's not bad, where it does lack is made up in the sillage. This one is a screamer for about the first 2 hours, 3 hours easy at a constant. This is not one that you put on and it's an hour later it becomes just in this general vicinity, a 3-foot area, or even a skin scent. This is very much a 6 to 7 hour scent in my book. 2 to 3 hours of just screaming, 2 hours of sitting closer, and the rest is a very solid skin scent. A skin scent that is very close, but leaves a nice scent trail nonetheless. So again, the whole concept of this video is to not be thrown off to the fact that this is a flanker to cool water, which is really divisive with some people to begin with, especially since it's really considered generic. It has its audience, and especially for something that is slapped on with a superhero from a movie in Hollywood that is Aquaman of all people, which of course, what other superhero would be under than thing cool water? You get the gist. It is actually very good. And again, you get a 4.2 ounce for about 15 bucks in a rack store. So for something that actually works pretty good, kind of fun, is very universally appealing, performance is pretty freaking okay for what it is. For 15 bucks at a 4.2 ounce, it's hard to beat. I would highly suggest this. It'll be good for guys' night in the summer, be good for going on a date. It does have a little bit of enough, it has enough of a expensive vibe to run with. Even though it may smell synthetic, it smells fine enough to go on a date even. Very universal for the summer. And if you're watching and you're in a more tropical landscape, Hawaii, or even just out by the coast and any of the coasts, pretty hard to pass up on this. I would suggest this, very much so. Especially if you like Azzaro Chrome Pure and you just want something that's a little less expensive to that, great alternative. And again, it is a collector's edition, limited edition, so it won't be around forever, unless, as I mentioned before, they just rename it as not being Aquaman, or as long as Aquaman movies are being made, you'll have a solid go-to for the time being. I suggest it. I suggest Davidoff Cool Water Aquaman, and I approve this message. And that's my review. If you like this review, please give this a like and subscribe down below. And if you did like this, please check out my other videos. Do it now, do it later, you do you. And I'll see you next time.